last full week in July. I can't believe it. Summer seems to be going by so quickly. Lots have changed on the plot. Sweet peas are in flower. I shall be cutting these later on today. We've been planting, the bed's filled up. We're now emptying the beds again because we're using all the crops. To try and stop the video being too long, what I've decided to do is to do it in two parts. Part one will feature this half of the plot, and then part two will feature the part of the plot just over there. So for part one, I'm going to be starting where I usually start, which is over there, down by the cardoons. I'll see you when we get down there. For part one of the allotment tour, I'm starting in the usual place by the cardoons, which have had a bit of a battering this week because yesterday in particular was very, very windy, and Friday we had some quite heavy rain. So starting to flower, got plenty of buds. Between the two cardoons we've got one lot of sweet peas, which I've already started picking. I think I've had a couple of bunches so far. One variety in particular I've quite liked this year, and it's this one. It's probably not the best specimen, but it's a really dark blue and it's got lovely perfume. It's called Heathcliff. Just between the sweet peas, the Crown Prince squashes are just starting to get going. They've been very slow this year. And then the other cardoon has had quite a bit of a battering. But some of the flowers on one of the battered down bits are already open. A tiny little bee in there. It's really tiny. I think it's a bee. The bees do love the cardoon flowers. The buds are quite pretty too. One bit of news on the site is that tatty plot opposite us has actually been taken. It's actually been taken by the people who have the plot, the next plot along. They're making a really good job of it. So that's quite nice. We'll go along the flower bed. Maybe should try staking a little bit more in this bed next year. So again, the wind's giving it a bit of a battering. Rose is still going strong. can't keep up with deadheading it. The red one deadheads itself, which is a bit of a bonus. This is our bit of a failed onion patch, although the ones at the end, these onions at the end, seem to be doing okay. And some are rallying. So we might get something from them. These poppies are self-seeded. Can't remember ever having planted any like this. No doubt we'll have a lot more from the look of it. I'm going to go back this way. This plot has got most of our fruit. There we've got more poppies in amongst the potatoes. These are early potatoes and just about ready for lifting now. We haven't lifted any athletes, which are on the left yet, but we've had quite a few Casablancas, as you can see. This is the fruit area. This apple's quite a special one. It's actually called tickled pink, and you can see how dark red the fruits are. Well, the actual flesh inside is red too. Then we have a Worcester pomain that was blown over in the wind and we just can't straighten it back up. It was some time ago. Plenty of apples on the apple hedge. We don't thin them out. We just put up with small apples, which I think some people will frown on, but never mind. Red currants, which we've had a few from. Maybe not quite as many as the blackbird. Not really any apples on this tree this year, but the Bramley's got one or two. And Fiesta, it's got quite a lot. Very prolific for such a small tree. The Invincible pear's got quite a lot of pears as well. This spotting is actually pear rust. We get it every year. Apparently it overwinters in hawthorn. And seeing as we have a hawthorn tree just there, it's hardly surprising, is it, that we have pear rust. The annuals in this bed just about over now. Well, they are over. There's plenty of seeds for next year. Berries haven't done very well this year. Haven't had very many berries at all. We've got the purple raspberry, which is just about finished. Picked lots of berries from this. Still quite a few fruits to pick off the gooseberry. Got about 8 gooseberry bushes in this area. And Martin's just cleared all our early brassicas. Got plenty of broccoli, cabbages and cauliflower from this area. And the next to be cleared will probably be the peas, which we've harvested, I think, a couple of bucket loads at least of peas from that. Some autumn fruiting raspberries. Not sure what's happened to these in the middle. More potatoes. So this bed needs a weed. Lots of blackberries on the thornless blackberry. Some look ready. It's actually loaded. Then under here we've got the outdoor tomatoes, which, considering our problem in the greenhouse, we're probably going to rely on quite heavily. We've got raspberry canes at the back. This is full of tomatoes, it's like a tomato forest. This is the next lot of brassicas that we'll be harvesting. Which are growing really well. Don't know if you can see through the mesh. And around here we've got the autumn planted onions, which we're harvesting at the moment. Lots of variation in size, but that doesn't matter. And in the new raspberry bed we actually allowed 1 or 2 borage plants to stay. So now we've got a borage thicket. And then behind is the black raspberry. Just pop behind and see if there's any raspberries on it. It's a kiwi berry, but no fruit this year. Oh, there's 1 or 2. This bed is our area set for renovation this year. It's got honeyberries in that don't produce any berries, so they're coming out. We've got runner beans, which are just starting to flower. And the ones in the middle are cobra climbing French beans. Then we've got a pink flowered variety, which is Celebration. Seem to have got a red one in there as well. Can't remember the name of the red one. More potatoes with a cosmos self-seated in the middle. Got a row of cosmos with sweet peas at back. The hazels have got lots of nuts, but it's debatable about whether we'll get them or the squirrel will. My money's on the squirrel. That's the Heathcliff sweet pea I was talking about earlier. It's got beautiful perfume, which is tends to be unusual for a dark coloured flower. Verbena bonariensis. That's the kiwi behind, which is putting on plenty of growth but no fruit, no flowers. And we have an old barrow full of nasturtiums, which I've tried growing nasturtiums in this barrow for about 2-3 years now, and this is the first year it's worked. Because we've moved where it was. I think it was in too much shade before. And then the black currants just started picking these today. And the quince tree looks as though it's going to fail us this year. It's usually loaded with fruit. There's an odd one or two that I can see. There's one just over there. But usually it's dripping with fruit. Row of dahlias. Our old strawberries, which are probably going to be dug up this year. And then in here we've got some squash. I think this one's doing the best. It's the unpronounceable one. And the label's gone, it's something Orikirichi or something, can't remember. Sweet corn's getting going. And then we have a butternut squash. Bees are loving the lavender. Then under the absolutely essential netting are the blueberries. This one's the earliest, and this is the one that I've been picking berries from the past couple of weeks or so. We have the vine. Cranberries, which strangely enough seems to have berries on the one that I've never noticed any flowers on. And here's the one with flowers. And the final fruit at this side is the tayberry, which has the green gage hanging over from the other side of the plot with some fruit. And I have to get those waspinatas sorted. And I'll just give you a quick look into our disastrous greenhouse. So we've got the weed killered contamination to this side, and hopefully the ones to this side have been spared. There's a cucumber down in the corner there. Well, that was part one of our allotment tour. Hope you enjoyed it. That part of the allotment tour featured the area behind the vine over here, and the next part of the tour will be over that way through the trees. So thanks for watching. See you later.